is this? Please stop calling this number. We don't know you.
Ben, now you don't know me after putting me in this condition? I will make sure I end your marriage.
Annabelle always felt lucky. She had been married to Ben for 10 years. They had two beautiful children. Ada was 8 years old and Chike was 5 years old. They lived in a nice house in Ikeja, Lagos. The house had a garden where Ada liked to chase butterflies. Chike played with his toy cars there. Ben was a good husband. He worked as a manager for an oil company. His work took a lot of his time, but he earned good money for the family. When he was home, he paid attention to his wife and children. He always brought gifts for the children and flowers for Annabelle. Every morning, he kissed her forehead before going to work. He called her my love, in a sweet way that made her heart happy even after 10 years of marriage. But recently, things started to change. The late night calls, the times when Ben was not home and did not explain where he was, the way Ben's phone always faced down on the table, the new password on his computer. These were small things, but they worried Annabelle. It's just work stress, she told herself many times. The company is opening a new office in Port Harcourt. He said he will travel more. And Ben did travel a lot. He spent 3 or 4 nights every week away from home. He said he stayed in hotels near work sites. He said he worked late at another office across town. He always had a reason ready. He spoke with so much confidence that Annabelle pushed her worries away. She felt bad for doubting him. On the other side of Lagos in Surulere, Olivia Chukwu woke up feeling sick. This was the 5th morning she felt this way. She went to the bathroom and looked at herself in the mirror. Her hands shook as she touched her stomach. She already knew the truth before taking the test. The signs were clear. Olivia was 28 years old. She designed clothes and was trying to build her business in Lagos. 2 years ago, she met Ben at a business event. He was charming, successful, and kind. He was everything she wanted after several bad relationships. I am divorced, he told her on their 3rd date. His eyes looked sad. It ended badly. My ex-wife took the kids and moved to Abuja. I only see them during holidays. Olivia felt sorry for him. She gave her whole heart to their relationship. After 2 years of love, she believed they would get married soon. Ben talked about it often. He spoke about their future together, the house they would buy, the children they would have. Now, looking at the positive pregnancy test in her hands, Olivia smiled, even though she had tears in her eyes. This was it. This news would finally make them get married. She imagined Ben's face when she told him. She could see his surprise, his joy, the way he would hug her tight. She decided to surprise him at his office. In 2 years, she had never visited him at work. Ben always said he wanted to keep their relationship private until they got married. He said his coworkers were too nosy and would spread rumors. But this news was too important for a phone call. She wanted to see his face when she told him. It was a Wednesday afternoon when Olivia's world fell apart. She went to the oil company's office in Victoria Island. Her heart was beating fast with excitement. The security man told her to go to the 3rd floor. She came out of the elevator holding a small gift bag. Inside were baby booties she bought that morning. It was a cute way to tell Ben the news. As she walked down the hall asking for Ben's office, she heard laughter, children's laughter. She turned a corner and stopped moving. There, outside what must be Ben's office, stood the man she loved, but he was not alone. A beautiful woman with kind eyes stood beside him. She was holding the hand of a young boy. A girl, a bit older, was showing Ben something on her phone. They looked like a perfect family. They were laughing together, comfortable with each other. Then Ben did something that broke Olivia's heart. He bent down and kissed the woman on the lips. It was not their first kiss. It was the kiss of people who had kissed many times before. He touched the boy's hair and picked up the girl, spinning her around while she laughed. "Daddy, put me down," the girl said with joy. Daddy. That word echoed in Olivia's mind like a bell. She stepped back. Her hand flew to her mouth to stop herself from crying out. The gift bag fell from her fingers. The baby booties fell onto the floor. The sound made Ben look up. Their eyes met across the hall. Olivia watched as all the color left his face. She saw shock and fear in his eyes. His mouth opened, but no words came out. Olivia did not wait. She turned and ran. She did not listen when Ben called after her. She ran past the elevators, down 3 flights of stairs, through the lobby, and out into the hot Lagos sun. She ran until her chest hurt and her eyes were full of tears. Everything was a lie. Everything. He was not divorced. He had a family. He had children. He had a wife. And she was nothing but a fool. The other woman, the mistress. For 3 days, Olivia stayed in her apartment. She cried. She barely ate. Her phone was off. The sickness from her pregnancy mixed with the pain in her heart. On the 4th day, something changed inside her. She looked at herself in the mirror. Her eyes were swollen from crying. Her face was pale. She made a decision. Ben would not get away with this. He would not continue living his perfect double life while she suffered alone with his child growing inside her. She started small. The first high note was pushed under the door of Ben's house on a Sunday evening. She had found his address easily. She had used his laptop when he stayed with her. Men like Ben were careless when they felt safe. She did not want to hurt the wife. The woman was innocent. She was a victim, just like her. But she wanted Ben to suffer. She wanted him to feel fear. She wanted him to worry every day that his lies would catch up with him. The silent phone calls started next. Always late at night. Always letting it ring just long enough to wake them up. Then she would hang up. She could imagine Ben's face in the dark, his heart pounding, wondering if today was the day his world would fall apart. Inside the Acacia house, Ben was falling apart. "It's just business rivals trying to scare me," he told Annabelle after the 7th silent call. "You know how this industry is. Someone wants my job." But Annabelle saw the fear in his eyes. She saw how he jumped at every phone notification. She saw how he checked the locks on the doors 3 times every night. He insisted on checking all visitors himself. "Ben, what is really going on?" she asked one evening. She watched him walk around the living room like a trapped animal. "Nothing." His voice was sharp and angry. He had never spoken to her like this before. "Why do you keep asking me questions? Can't you see I am stressed?" Annabelle felt hurt by his words. This was not the Ben she knew. Something was very wrong. His lies only made her more suspicious. She started paying close attention. She noticed how he turned his phone away when typing messages, how he took calls in the car or in the bathroom, how some business trips happened at the same time he posted Instagram stories from expensive restaurants and hotels, places he never took her anymore. One night while he was in the shower, his phone buzzed on the bedside table. Annabelle looked at it and saw part of a message. "We need to talk. This can't continue." The message deleted itself before she could see who sent it. 3 weeks after discovering Ben's betrayal, Olivia sat in the clinic. She stared at the white walls. The doctor had just confirmed what she already knew. She was 8 weeks pregnant. "Would you like to discuss your options?" the doctor asked gently. She could see the tears on Olivia's face. Olivia had spent many sleepless nights thinking about this decision. Could she raise Ben's child? Could she look at a baby every day and see the face of the man who lied to her for 2 years? Could she be connected to him forever through this innocent life? "I can't do it," she whispered. "I can't raise a child with a man who built our whole relationship on lies. What kind of father would he be? What kind of life would I give this child?" The decision broke something inside her, but she knew it was the right choice for her. She was not ready to be a single mother to a married man's child. She was not ready for that emotionally or financially. 2 days after the procedure, Olivia called Ben. He answered immediately. "Olivia, please let me explain." "There is nothing to explain, Ben. You are a liar, a bloody liar. You played with my life for 2 years while you had a whole family at home." "I love you. Don't you dare say that to me." Her voice cracked with emotion. "You don't know what love is. Love doesn't lie. Love doesn't deceive. Love doesn't make someone believe they have a future with you while you are building that future with someone else. What do you want? Money? I can—" "I was pregnant, Ben." The line went silent. "Was." Past tense. "I ended it yesterday because I refuse to bring a child into your web of lies. I refuse to be tied to you for the rest of my life." She heard him take a sharp breath. She heard something crash in the background. "But I am not going to just disappear and make this easy for you," Olivia continued. Her voice was steady now. "Your wife deserves to know the truth. She deserves to make her own choice about her life, just like I deserve to know the truth about mine. Please, don't." She will know everything by the end of this week. Goodbye, Ben. On Saturday afternoon, Annabelle was in the kitchen making lunch. Ben had gone to play tennis with a friend. At least that is what he said. The doorbell rang. She wiped her hands on her apron and went to open the door. A young woman stood there. She wore jeans and a blouse. Her eyes were red, but she looked determined. "Can I help you?" Annabelle asked politely. "Mrs. Annabelle?" The woman's voice shook a little. "My name is Olivia. I need to talk to you about your husband." Something in the woman's voice made Annabelle's stomach feel heavy. "What about my husband?" "Can I come in, please? This will be difficult, but you need to know the truth." Annabelle wanted to close the door. She wanted to refuse whatever this woman was about to tell her, but instead she stepped aside and let Olivia enter. They sat in the living room. Olivia pulled out her phone. "I am not here to hurt you," she began. "I am here because I was hurt too, and because you deserve to know what kind of man you are married to." Then she showed Annabelle everything. Photos of Ben and Olivia together, at restaurants, at the beach, in what was clearly Olivia's apartment. Screenshots of loving messages going back 2 years, video calls where Ben said sweet words, receipts for gifts, jewelry that Olivia wore in photos, lingerie, weekend trips. "He told me he was divorced," Olivia said. Her voice was thick with emotion. "He told me you had taken the children and moved to Abuja. He told me we would get married soon. I believed every word." Annabelle sat frozen. She watched her marriage fall apart before her eyes. Each photo, each message was like a knife in her heart. This was not a one-time mistake. This was a whole second life that Ben had built. 3 weeks ago, I found out I was pregnant," Olivia continued. "I went to his office to surprise him with the news. That is when I saw you, saw your children, saw the truth." "Pregnant?" Annabelle's voice was barely a whisper. "I ended it. I could not bring a child into this mess, but I could not let him keep lying to both of us either." Olivia reached into her bag and pulled out a small box. "These are the pregnancy tests, the medical reports, the baby booties I bought before I knew the truth. I am showing you everything because you deserve to make your own choice with all the facts." Annabelle stared at the evidence. 10 years of marriage, 2 children, 1,000 memories, all of it now stained by this truth. "I am sorry," Olivia said, standing up. "I know you did not deserve this. You are not my enemy. He is. He lied to both of us. He played with both our lives. I just thought you should know before you waste any more years on him." After Olivia left, Annabelle sat alone in the silence of her home. She remembered a conversation she had with Ben 3 years ago. They were having dinner with friends. They were talking about cheating. She had said clearly and firmly, "I would never give a cheater a second chance. Never. Once trust is broken, it is broken forever." Ben had held her hand and said, "You will never have to worry about that with me, my queen." Ben came home 2 hours later. He was whistling. He was carrying takeout food for dinner. He found Annabelle sitting on the couch. Around her was all the evidence of his betrayal. His face went pale. "Annabelle, I can explain." "Explain what?" Her voice was cold. He had never heard her speak like this before. "Explain how you have been living a double life for 2 years? Explain how you got another woman pregnant while coming home to kiss your children goodnight? She is lying. She is just some crazy woman who is obsessed with me." "Stop. I have seen the messages, Ben, the photos, the videos. I have seen 2 years of proof. Don't insult me by lying to my face right now. It was a mistake. It meant nothing. Nothing. You called her baby. You told her you loved her. You planned a future with her. You got her pregnant." Annabelle's voice got louder with each sentence. "Nothing. Please, think about the children. Don't you dare use our children as a shield." Tears ran down her face now. "You did not think about them when you were building a life with another woman. You did not think about them when you were spending money meant for their future on gifts for your girlfriend. You did not think about them at all. I am sorry. I am so sorry. Please, give me another chance. I will end it completely. I will do anything." "You remember what I told you 3 years ago?" Annabelle's voice was quiet now, but firm. "I said I would never give a cheater a second chance. I meant it then, and I mean it now. Annabelle, please, pack your things and get out of my house." She walked to the door and opened it. "My lawyer will contact you about the children, but I promise you, Ben, you will not have easy access to our children. They will know what kind of man their father is. You can't do this. Watch me." Her eyes were hard as steel. Get out. Now. Ben moved out that night. He went to a hotel while he looked for an apartment. He called and sent messages to Annabelle, but she did not answer. When he tried to visit the children, she refused to let him in. Within a week, both families knew everything. His parents called and begged Annabelle to reconsider. Her mother flew in from Enugu to support her. Friends took sides. The church they went to together became uncomfortable. Ben tried everything. He sent flowers and letters. He showed up at her workplace. But Annabelle had made her decision, and nothing would change her mind. One day, 3 months after the truth came out, Olivia and Annabelle met for coffee. It was awkward at first, two women connected by the same man's betrayal. "How are you?" Annabelle asked. "Healing." Olivia replied honestly, "Some days are harder than others. You?" "The same." Annabelle stirred her coffee. "The children ask about him all the time. That is the hardest part." They talked for 2 hours. They shared their experiences, their pain, their anger. They found an unexpected friendship in their shared trauma. Neither blamed the other. They both understood who the real villain was. "He created a whole fantasy world," Olivia said, "and we both lived in it without knowing it was not real." "But now we are out," Annabelle replied, "and we are finding our own strength." "Actions have consequences, Mr. Ben," the judge said. "You built your happiness on lies, and now you must face the results of those choices." Annabelle walked out of the courthouse feeling lighter than she had in months. The road ahead would not be easy. Single motherhood, rebuilding her life, helping her children through the trauma of a broken family. But she would face it with her dignity intact and her self-respect restored. She had learned that love without honesty is just manipulation, that a perfect-looking life can hide terrible secrets, that sometimes the strongest thing a woman can do is walk away from someone she loves when they don't deserve her. Olivia had learned similar lessons. She learned to value herself enough not to accept small pieces of affection from someone who should have given her everything. She learned that warning signs, no matter how small, should never be ignored. She learned that starting over, though painful, is sometimes the only path to real happiness. Both women had been deceived by the same man, but they refused to let that deception define the rest of their lives. They had been victims of Ben's lies, but they would not remain victims forever. In the end, both Annabelle and Olivia found something Ben's lies could never give them. They found genuine peace. They found hard-won self-respect. They found the freedom that comes from living in truth rather than in someone else's carefully crafted lie. Their stories served as a reminder that integrity matters, that honesty is the foundation of any real relationship, that sometimes the most loving thing you can do for yourself is to walk away from someone who treats your heart like it is worthless. They had both loved the same man, but more importantly, they had both learned to love themselves enough to demand better, and in that lesson lay their true freedom.